In this video, I will show you how to take a quadratic function like this one and rewrite it in vertex form. And to do that, we will be completing the square. Now, vertex form is like this. And they call this vertex form because in this form, the vertex will simply be h comma k. Okay, so that's what's about to happen. Let's go. So the first thing we need to do is move the -4. So I am going to add 4 to both sides to get this 4 out of the way. So that's going to leave me with y plus 4 is equal to 2x squared plus 12x. Now, these problems are slightly made more difficult by the fact that the leading coefficient is not 1. When there's a number sitting here, this 2, you need to factor that out to be able to complete the square. So I'm going to take out a factor of 2 and put it outside of a pair of parentheses. So if I factor out the 2, and that's coming out of the 12 as well, that's going to leave me with x squared plus 6x inside of the parentheses. Now I'm not going to close the parentheses right behind that 6. I'm going to leave some space because this is where we complete the square. We put a special number right here. Okay? By the way, the reason why we had to factor out the 2 is because a moment ago I showed you what vertex form looked like. Let me show it to you again. A times x minus h squared plus k. See that a value? That's going to have a lot to do with this 2 that's sitting out front. So vertex form has this a value out front. The a value is not inside the parentheses. So we had to pull it out in order to get the vertex form going. So now, to complete the square, we do half the middle squared. So half of this is 3. But then 3 squared is 9. So I'm going to put a 9 right here. So there I'm completing the square. Again, half the middle squared. Now here's the part that's going to blow your mind. It looks like I just added a 9 right now, but I didn't. This is really an 18. And the reason why it's an 18 is because I added 9 inside of parentheses that have a 2 out front. And imagine I were to do the distributive property here. You would see that what I really have is 2x squared plus 12x plus 18. So I really added 18. Now we're not going to do the distributive property. But the reason why we have to look at it that way is so we know what to add on the left-hand side. So this 9 is really 2 times 9, so it's really 18. So I need to add 18 to the left side as well to keep the equation balanced. Alright, that's the trickiest part. I added 9 here, but I need to put 18 on the other side because it's really 2 times 9. Anyway, so now on the left-hand side, I have y plus 22, just adding those like terms. And on this side, I'm going to factor. Now, when you complete the square and you factor, it will always factor as the same thing twice. If you keep that in mind, it will make it that much faster. 9 is 3 times 3. And because this is positive, I know that it will be positive and positive. Alright, so the point of doing that, since I have x plus 3 times x plus 3, I could write that as x plus 3 squared. So you can see this is almost vertex form. The last thing I need to do is subtract the 22 from both sides. And this is going to give us our vertex form final answer, which is y is equal to 2 times x plus 3 squared minus 22. Okay, so this is our vertex form. Okay, and that was problem number 9. Let's do that again. Alright, so once again, the first thing you should do is move this 15 by adding 15 to both sides. So that's going to give me y plus 15 is equal to, whoops, three x squared plus 12x. Next I need to factor out this 3. So that's going to be y plus 15 is equal to 3. So that's going to leave x squared plus 4x. And I'm leaving enough space to complete the square. I'm doing half the middle squared. Alright, half of this is 2. 2 squared is 4. So that's why I'm going to put a plus 4 right here. Now it looks like I just added 4, but I really added 3 times 4. I really added 12. So that's why I'm going to add 12 to the other side. So now I have y plus 27 is equal to 3 times, and let's go ahead and factor this trinomial. This will be x times x. 4 will be 2 times 2. Alright, they have to be the same. Because this is positive, I know they will both be positive. So this can be written as x plus 2 squared. And then last, I need to subtract that 27 from both sides. Okay, and here is our vertex form for number 10. Okay, let's take a look at number 11. So first we need to get rid of this 12. So let's subtract 12 from, by the way, I've done 2 of these now. Pause the video and try to do this problem by yourself. Now I'm going to have to assume you did that because I have no control over what you do with your life. You need to make your decisions and live with them. Okay, now before I can complete the square, I need to factor this 2 out. So that's going to be 2 and then x squared minus 8x. Leave enough space to complete the square. You complete the square by doing half the middle squared. Half of this is negative 4. Negative 4 squared is positive 16. So I'm going to add 16 right here. Looks like I just added 16. I really added 2 times 16. I really added 32. So that's why I need to put plus 32 on the left side to balance it out. So now I have y plus 20 is equal to 2 times, and let's factor this. It has to factor as the same binomial twice. X squared, of course, is x times x. 16 would be 4 times 4. This negative sign here tells me that both of these will be negative. So I've got y plus 20 is equal to 2 times x minus 4 squared. All that's left is to subtract 20 from both sides. And that is going to be the final answer. Vertex form here is y equals 2 times x minus 4 squared minus 20. Okay, that's it for number 11. Number 12 is the same as the last few problems I've done. So pause the video and do this thing by yourself. Your first step should be to subtract 9 from both sides. Get this out of the way. That's going to leave you with y minus 9 is equal to 2x squared plus 20x. Now, before I can complete the square, I need to factor out this 2 outside of the parentheses. So that'll leave me with 2 times x squared plus 10x. Leave enough space to complete the square. Half the middle squared. Alright, half of 10 is 5. 5 squared is 25. So plus 25. Looks like I just added a 25. I really added 2 times 25. I really added 50. So I need to add 50 on the left side as well. That's going to leave me with y plus 41 is equal to 2 times, and now let's go ahead and factor this trinomial. So that'll be x squared is x times x, 25 is 5 times 5. The plus sign here tells me that both of these will be positive. So that'll be 2 times x plus 5 squared, since there's 2 of them. Last, I need to get y by itself, so I will just subtract this 41 from both sides. Okay, there's the answer to number 12. Alright, pause the video, do this problem. Well, you know what, this one's a little tougher. Never mind, do this problem with me. So the first thing I need to do is add 3 to both sides, assuming my computer doesn't just straight up crash as indicated by this hourglass. Add 3 to both sides. Get that 3 out of the way. So this is going to leave me with y plus 3 is equal to 2x squared plus 10x. Now, before I can complete the square, I need to factor out this 2 outside of the parentheses. So factoring the 2 out will leave me with x squared plus 5x. Now leave space to complete the square. Now you're about to see why I said this problem was a little bit tougher than the last few. We are going to have fractions. We have to do half the middle squared. Alright, but half of the middle is 5 divided by 2. Alright, 2 does not go evenly into 5, so I just need to leave it as 5 over 2. And then I need to square that because it's half the middle squared. So that's going to give me 25 over 4. I just square them both. Okay, half the middle squared. Now, it looks like I just added 25 fourths. But I really added 2 times 25 fourths. Alright, so that's the first thing I need to do in my little scratch paper area here. Okay, it's my little scratch paper zone. What is 2 times 25 over 4? Okay, well this is like 2 over 1 times 25 over 4. So that's 50 over 4. So that is 25 over 2. Okay, so it looks like I added 25 over 4 to both sides. But really I added 2 times 25 over 4, which is 25 over 2. So that's what I'm going to add to the left side to balance this out. 25 halves. Okay, so now this is the next thing I need to do with my scratch paper over here. I need to do 3 plus 25 over 2. Now you can think of this as 3 over 1. I need like denominators. Alright, so that's going to give me 6 over 2 plus 25 over 2. So that's 31 over 2. So that's what I get when I add these together. So that's why I'm going to have y plus 31 over 2 equals. Now you would think that this would be difficult to factor with the fraction and all, but since we know that it has to be the same binomial twice, it really makes it easy. X squared, of course, will be x times x. But 25 over 4 is going to be 5 over 2 times 5 over 2. Okay, 5 times 5 is 25. 2 times 2 is 4. It's the, when you did half of the middle, it's that. Because the middle term is positive, you know that both of these are going to be positive. It always works out that way. So this is going to give me y plus 31 over 2 is equal to 2 times x plus 5 over 2 squared, because there's 2 of them. And then finally, just subtract the 31 over 2 from both sides. And that's it. So your standard form is y equals 2 times x plus 5 over 2 squared minus 31 over 2. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.